All right. Hey, John H. Lilly, coach of the Independence Patriots. Big winner tonight over Man, 74-7. John, first of all, another game, another running clock in the fourth quarter. Are you getting concerned at all that your guys aren't playing deep into games, even in the second half?
Yeah, I'm real concerned about it, and I think the kids are concerned about it. They were kind of disappointed, not getting to play in the second half. It was kind of holding them down a little bit at halftime. They wasn't real happy. They work really hard. I mean, I wish people could come out here and see how hard they work. We do things I think a lot of other people don't do, and they just don't get to play in the second half. But that's a good problem to have.
It is, and you got to play a lot of guys tonight. You got, your backup quarterback, maybe your third-string quarterback, and J.D. Monroe scores a touchdown. You had some guys that hadn't scored tonight. They got to score this evening. I mean, that's got to be gratifying to see because those kids, as everybody always says, work too. But, for the starters to I don't even think they probably have much trouble getting out of bed in the morning. Well, they're not getting much of a run.
Well, the thing is, Harvey's such a good coach, and their coaching staff do such a good job. So we were kind of concerned a little bit because we know man is always physical. And, the kids were kind of concerned about it, making sure that we come out and get off to a hot start. So I got to give our kids a little bit of credit because, we came out last week and we fumbled on the first two possessions. And so we wanted to get off to a hot start tonight. And I think they accepted the challenge.
Judah Price really playing well. He's got about 400 yards in the last 2 weeks, 6 touchdowns. Is this kind of what you saw in him? I mean, obviously you're playing behind a Kennedy guy. Last week, you and I talked about it going into the trail game. He was going to get an opportunity, and he made the most of it, obviously.
Yeah, Judah's a beast. I mean, we've said it. I said it all the way back in the Bluefield scrimmage, and some people looked at me kind of weird, but he's a beast. I'm just telling you. And we are so much better when we have both of them on the field. And we're a whole lot more explosive when you got to worry about, Atticus and Judah at the same time. So, we're in a good situation with them. The goal is to just keep getting better, try to get Atticus back in football shape where he was gone for a week. So that's the mission right now.
You took it right down the field with Judah running tailback for you. I mean, did you kind of think at that point, you knew you were going to come back with Atticus? I mean, did you think at that point we're probably looking at another big game, big offensive production from this team? You had 700 yards last week. I don't know if you knew that.
No,
you had 421 rushing in the first half tonight.
Well, I think we're sitting here praising all these running backs, and deservedly so, but there's a reason why those guys are doing this because we got a pretty phenomenal line and we got a very good line coach. So you put all that together and you got a pretty decent offense. We just got to keep it growing. We got a big game next week. That's something to look forward to.
One aspect that probably really gets overlooked, unfortunately, is your defense. I looked at those numbers this week. I think 70 yards a game rushing. You give up 80 yards a game or so, 84 passing. Just talk about your defense and what, that might be the one thing that's overlooked here in this whole offensive output that you've been able to put up.
Well, some of it is, people who try to keep our offense off the field, and that's a good strategy, and our defense has kind of rose to the challenge to kind of help that from not happening. So, we got some good guys on that defense now. I tell you, you got Braxton McKinney, and of course you got Jordan Harvey and D. Hypes. Those are 3 pretty good linebackers. D's only a 10th grader, and he's already 6'2", 210. So, they eat that weight room. Those 3 linebackers, and I'm going to tell you now, they eat that weight room. And those 3 defensive linemen aren't bad. They're all, 260, 280, 290. So, pretty good bunch.
As a coach, is it nice to get those? I know you want to go with your starters and try to get some kind of run for those guys. Is it nice to see those other kids coming in? A J.D. Monroe, a Miller, Tyler Linksweiler had a touchdown run in the first half.
Well, it's kind of like the building process. We want to keep building. We don't want to be satisfied with just 1 year. We want to try to be consistent. And every time those guys get out on the field, they get a little bit better. And that's the mission. There was a lot of teaching going on tonight. We wasn't very happy with some of our defense there, second team defense there, but it's just a building process.
Are you expect more next week when you travel over to Nichols County?
Oh, yeah.
They're number 5 in the state, and that's for a reason, I'd say.
Yeah, Gene does a great job. We know what we got. I think the kids know we got a battle next week, and we got to go up there They beat the snot out of us the last time we went up there. So I think everybody in that locker room knows we really got to play our best football next week if we're going to get out of there.
What do you take away from this?
I take away from this is kids getting rewarded for working hard. Because some people, some teams say they work hard and some kids say they work hard, but actually doing it's two different things. And we have a group of kids that like football. Some people like everything about football except football. These kids like football. But Dave, here's the biggest thing about this football team, and you've been over here a couple times, is they care about each other and they like each other, and the coaches like them, they like the coaches, and when you've got that, you've got something going.
Tavon Austin is a guy that they work in to go back to Judah for a second. Well, I know Frankie Isaacs did last week, compared him to Tavon Austin. He said Tavon Austin type player. You agree with that?
He's better than Tavon, and I'll tell you why. Judah plays defense, so so I give the nod to Judah. Judah's a leader on our team. He really is. He might be small in nature, but everybody in that locker room, when he speaks, they shut up. So, he's a beast. I'm just telling you.
So he's a leader as a junior on it.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, there's no doubt who the leader of the pack is.
Couldn't really work on that passing game today. Is that one drawback?
Yeah, it's something we're trying to do to get better. But, I mean, we just do what we got to do to win the game.
All right, John, I appreciate it.
Thank you.